Hello everybody, I'm Keith Bowe with North Idaho Life and PR Director for Sizzle Magazine. This is my good friend, Chef Lesa LeBeau.
Hello.
And welcome to the beautiful Garden Plaza. We're going to talk about some food today and some food related topics, so thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Lesa LeBeau is with LeBeau Catering Company.
Yes.
She's also an instructor at the Culinary Institute at
Culinary Stone in
Riverstone. Yep. She's teaching a class tonight, so I'm really glad you took some time on your busy schedule to squeeze us in.
Thank you. That's why I'm in my chef's clothes.
Yeah, so. Halfway through prepping. So anyway, we're going to talk about some of the food here. Now, my first experience with the Garden Plaza was when I came in for the Got Talent competition as one of the judges. And the winner of the Got Talent goes to the show in Hollywood to compete for that. And every week before the competition, the show, we'd come in and they'd give us a private dinner in a dining room here, which was just fantastic. It really shocked me how good the food was, like high-grade restaurant quality. And anyway, so we want to come here and talk about food.
Awesome.
And so tell me a little bit about your experience, how you got into it. It was kind of a second career for you in a way, right?
Yes, well actually my first career was in the medical field in nursing, and then I always wanted to be a chef. I always wanted to go to culinary school. I chose to go when my children were 1 and 2, which probably wasn't the best idea.
Yeah.
But when in the end of 95, graduated in 97, Southern California. My instructor was Cecilia DeCastro, who was Wolfgang Puck's protege. So got to work with Wolfgang Puck at the Oscars, see celebrities I never thought I'd see. Learned a lot of really neat things. Worked at the Playboy Mansion, worked in Malibu, worked for Sean Penn, rock stars, rock bands.
You cooked for
Guns N' Roses, Sean
Roses,
Penn, Donald Sterling. Gosh, a lot of people. A lot of people.
Barbra Streisand.
Barbra Streisand. Just a lot of Malibu parties, white parties where they'd be dressed in white and we'd be in hot garages.
Yeah.
We would be floating around, but it's a glamorous career and it's not. It's hard work. It's very hard work. It's rewarding work. When you stand there in a white coat, the celebrities go, "Chef," and they talk to you and you kind of feel like a celebrity for a minute. It's kind of cool. But
long hours.
Yeah, long hours.
Hard work.
Once you break down, you clean and you put away. Prepping is all morning too. It's a very difficult job. It requires complete 100% passion for what you do.
But it's also creative.
Oh, it is.
It's artistic.
Very artistic.
Yeah.
It's a very personal, and you are very protective and concerned about your food. You want it to be perfect. You want people to love it. And I always say food is love, because I think we love people through our food, and we take care of them through our food.
And what's that famous quote? I know we both like it. One cannot live well, think well, or love well if one has not dined well.
One does not dine well.
Yeah, I love that quote.
Yeah, it's a great quote.
And the thing I love most about cooking, I think, is that it's as you said, it's creative.
Yes.
It's an outlet. There's art to it, but it's almost in a way vanity, because you prepare something and it's gone in 5 minutes.
Yes.
There's nothing lasting to it, you know?
It better be gone in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
It better be gone, because I don't want to see it on that plate.
Yeah.
No.
But it's not a lasting thing, but it's always enjoyed. So when you bring people food, what can make someone happier than bringing them food?
Well, that's why I say food is love, because
it's so rewarding.
And you eat with your eyes, so you want it to be beautiful. You want the presentation to be lovely. Nobody wants to eat brown and gray food.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
That's why I do a lot of Asian cuisine and different things like that, because it's so bright and fragrant and pretty. And I'm happy when it's gone.
And colorful.
And colorful. I just love, especially when it's winter, especially up in the Northwest.
I
think it's a little dreary and gloomy, and we eat comfort food, and that's great too. But you want the color and the vitality and the vibrance in it.
Yeah. So tell me more about your classes at Culinary Stone.
Okay, well tonight I'm doing Filipino.
Oh.
So I'll be going back to Olympia. I did a Malaysian class, which was awesome.
On your Philippine one, are you doing balut and stuff like that?
I am doing bean enggong. Say that 3 times.
And
which
what is
it is
being
a
gone?
pork cooked in shrimp paste,
Okay.
tomatoes, onions, simmered down for hours, and then you add coconut cream and eggplant at the end, and you serve over jasmine rice.
Oh, yum.
And then the lumpia, of course, we know, which is a little roll, egg roll, deep fried.
And who doesn't love lumpia?
I know.
You know?
I know. It's
So
one of my favorites.
you're teaching people how to make lumpia tonight.
Yes.
Oh,
and
wow.
I invite them to come in hands-on and roll them and,
Yeah.
get a feel for it. And then I'm doing also, what am I doing else? Oh, pancit, the famous Filipino
yeah,
pancit,
yeah.
which is my favorite, who my instructor, who is from the Philippines, taught me.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And I've been to your class before, and I love them.
Thank
So
you.
entertaining. You get to hear stories about the Playboy Mansion, craziness
Yeah.
that goes on there, and some fun stuff.
Yeah.
And then you get to eat. You get to eat a lot.
Yes. I cook like a camp counselor. I feed a lot.
Yeah. So whenever I've come, I've left just stuff to the rafters.
Good.
Wonderful time.
Good. I'm glad.
Anyway, so welcome to the beautiful Garden Plaza.
Oh my gosh, it is amazingly beautiful here.
It's way more than you think, isn't it?
Absolutely. I would live here.
I would too. Yeah.
I would move in like next week.
You come in through the Circle Drive. They have the huge fountain out there. They got a little golf course out
And
front,
the
putting
dining
green.
room and everything, it's gorgeous.
Your billiards
It's
room.
just gorgeous.
Oh, it's fantastic. And
Like I said, year and a half I can be here.
Yeah. So this waterfall here goes through the courtyard and goes through the Garden Plaza over to the other side to the other courtyard. It goes under the
Incredible.
building.
It
Is
really
that beautiful?
Is incredible. Yep.
Okay. Well, want to go eat?
Yes. Let's
All right.
go.
Let's go eat. So tell me about a little bit about Cioppino. I mean, what does it mean exactly? What are its origins?
Well, the history of Cioppino was back in Italy, in the Italian countryside. It was kind of means chipping in. So some fishermen would be fortunate one day, some would not. Some would catch mussels, some would catch clams, some would catch octopus, fish. So they would basically chip in and all combine all of their seafood so that they could have this giant seafood stew.
So
which
it's a
is Cioppino came from chipping in. Yeah. A community stew.
Community stew. The
Yeah.
fishermen would get together after a day of fishing.
Yes.
Throw together a stew
Get all
for
their
community
wares
and-
together, what they caught, and they would all combine it and have, some, if they didn't catch any, the next time, they would catch some and they would all just share.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the poor guy who didn't catch anything, he brings the onion.
He's still got, he brings the tomatoes.
His mom's tomatoes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are the common ingredients that you find most often at Cioppino?
Well, it's a tomato-based broth. Usually will be cooked with shells if you have leftover shells from shrimp or something.
To get the flavor from the
Yeah,
shells.
like you would make a lobster or
Lobster,
a bisque,
yeah, okay.
stock. Would be like a nice piece of fish, cod, salmon. I usually use salmon in mine. A fish in the broth to begin with, and then clams, mussels, shrimp, any kind of langostino. Some people use lobster, big crab claws. Everybody, I think it depends on what you find fresh at the fish market.
Yeah,
If I find a lot of really fresh, nice clams or mussels, that's what I use. So this is basically exactly what was used in Cioppino.
And it's beautiful the way they have the little bread and the croutons and stuff.
Very pretty, and the parsley is spot on. Nice fresh parsley on the top, and lemon.
Yep.
Perfect.
What do you think nails the most important aspect to a good Cioppino? What would just nail it?
The base, the
The
broth.
base, yeah.
A nice, good. You've got to take time to make a good stock or a good broth.
So you nail the broth and you've got it.
Nail the broth, and then really fresh ingredients, really fresh seafood.
Yeah,
That's what
yeah.
counts. Yes.
Okay. Well, should we try some?
Absolutely.
My grandmother and my mother, it's kind of funny when they taste things. They take a little tiny baby sip, and
It's delicious.
then they go,
It's,
that's good.
I'll
That's
tell
what
you something funny. When I was little, before I even knew I was going to be a chef, my mother would get so upset because I would smell my food. So when we were with guests or invited over for dinner, it would embarrass her, my mother's English. So it would embarrass her that I would see. But then you knew I was a chef because I was actually smelling. Because
Yeah.
smelling, you have to always smell when you're that's part of your senses. If you
Yeah.
don't have smell, you don't have taste.
Yeah.
So that's kind of funny.
And the smell's very rich, doesn't it?
The broth is exquisite. It's very nice. A nice red wine is very important as well in Cioppino in the base. It's important when you use wine in cooking. Anything you would drink, that's what you put in your soup. You don't go get a terribly cheap, horrible wine. You want to use something you would drink. So if you have some wine left over, which we usually don't, right? Just keep that for your cooking the next day.
And that's what I've heard too. Is that if you're going to use cooking wine, use drinkable stuff.
Something you're going to drink. Maybe not a rumba or something expensive, but
Yeah.
something a little less.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
something you're going to drink. Yes.
So
Delish.
what do you pick up here as far as some of the ingredients in the broth? I have some onions. Some
Onions,
tomato.
garlic. There's some nice fresh herbs in here. I taste a little oregano, maybe a little basil, parsley. It's lovely. It's really a nice flavor.
It's buttery.
Yeah, it's very rich. very nice. And beautiful, fresh seafood. Yeah. Mussels are lovely.
We got some garlic bread here.
Yes. Got to have bread on the side. Always have bread.
Sop up some of those juices.
That's what you do when you finish all the seafood. You want that piece of bread to stick in that juice.
Yeah,
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. It's delicious.
This beautiful piece of garlic bread. It's soft.
Oh, it's yummy.
It's moist. Isn't that tasty?
It's delicious.
Lightly
It's
salted.
really perfect.
Can you see all the herbs on the bread?
Perfect sodium, perfect butter, perfect garlic, everything. It's lovely.
Now, April, let me ask you this. There are some events that are off camera. This is our good friend April Howard. There are some events that are open to the public here at Garden Plaza, right?
Oh, yes. That is correct.
Ladies and gentlemen, April Howard. Yay!
Yay!
Oh.
Have breakfast for veterans and things like that from time to time?
We do. The first Tuesday of every month at 8 o'clock in the morning. Come on down if you're a veteran or a spouse of a veteran. Complimentary breakfast buffet. We're growing every month. We're up to 100 outsiders. So we love our veterans.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Thank you, April.
Thank you, April.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for coming.
Thank you.
I have to say, this water is delicious.
I know.
Isn't
The
it?
water is delicious. The lemon water they have here is delicious.
And I got some cucumber in it, and it's ice
It's lovely.
cold.
I'm not snobby about food, but
I am.
okay, well, we are all. We all have our things, but
And
this is delish.
Funny thing is, Chef, is the older I get, the snobbier I get.
I think you just get to know what you like more. I think we are a little more forgiving when we're younger, and we just like to eat and we like to have fun. I think the older you get, your palate gets more refined, and you know the difference of what you like and what you don't.
I'd say this is amazing. I mean, you're living like a king.
I would say yes. Like I said, a year and a half I could probably live here. So if I ate like this, I'd be really happy. For sure, it's lovely. It's lovely. Yeah,
Let's get some fake IDs.
let's do that.
Thanks everyone for joining us here at the Garden Plaza for this lovely dining experience we had. And they say a good meal should be a memorable experience. And I'd say this is, I'm going to remember this.
Absolutely, it's delicious. Yes.
So I think want to thank Chef Lesa LeBeau for taking time out of her busy schedule. You got a cooking class tonight, so you're kind of in a hurry. But
I got to get back and feed people.
yeah, sure.
And thank
appreciate
you for
coming.
having me, April, and everybody at the Garden Plaza.
Thank you guys.
It's wonderful.
Cheers.
Cheers.